Hey everybody, Terry Dunn here, and we're going to do the first segment of what I want to call Nat's Newbie, because I've never been to the AMA Nats before, so I have very little idea of what goes on here. And with that in mind, we're over here on the helicopter line, and I'm here with Mike Goza, and I would love to ask you a very intelligent question, but I don't even know what to ask. So why don't you give us a quick overview of your helicopter here and what you were just doing with it?
Oh, okay. Well, this is an SAB Genesis that I've put a different paint job. The factory has a standard paint job they put on it. I'm running a Contronic motor and speed control, and it's using a 12S LiPo battery for power. The motor produces probably about 10 horsepower. I use this model for the F3C competition. That is an international competition, and we're about to go to Romania for the World Championships in about 3 weeks, the beginning of August.
Wow. So explain a little bit what you do for those events.
Well, these are all, the F3C is all about precision aerobatics.
Okay.
So we'll have a panel of judges that will judge each maneuver on a scale of 0 through 10.
Okay.
And basically you add them up. There's various math involved that they do to normalize the scores, and then you get a winner.
Okay. So what would be a deduction? Like if a round part isn't round? Or?
Like let's say you're doing a simple loop. A loop would, if you enter at one altitude and you exit at another,
okay,
there's a deduction. If it's not round, it's a deduction. But the maneuvers are typically more complicated than that.
Okay.
Like some of ours are an outside Cuban 8.
Okay.
So you're rolling to inverted, you perform a Cuban 8, and at the crossover points, there's a half roll.
Okay. So there's no part in there where you just let your shoulders down and relax?
No,
That's
you're
intense.
concentrating constantly
Okay.
on every maneuver. Actually, the hardest maneuvers are the hovering ones.
Oh, really? Just staying in one place?
It's, you draw a pattern with the model using there's a set of flags out there. Mm-hmm. And when you stop over the flag, they expect you to be over the flag.
All right. So
and at a certain height and a certain orientation.
Okay, so there's no guesswork involved here?
No,
okay.
They're prescribed maneuvers. For the F3C, there's a preliminary round of maneuvers, which is a certain set of maneuvers, and then they also have a finals set of maneuvers.
And
they're different.
Do you know what they are beforehand?
Yes, you do know what they are.
Okay. Now, what's an environmental condition that could really throw you off, whether it's wind or sun in your eyes or something like that?
Usually it's wind and sun.
All of
rain messes you up, obviously. You can't fly in the rain.
Okay.
Well, we don't. We try not to.
Right.
But wind and sun are the biggest things.
Okay. Now, is everybody using electric power?
Most people are using electric now.
Okay.
That used to not be the case. Years ago, it was nitromethane. Started off as 60 size models, and then it went to 90s and 120s. And then when the electrics came of age, the power to weight ratio of the electric motor and the fact that you don't have to tune it for different altitude,
Oh, right.
different temperatures, all of that goes away. You just burn more electrons or less electrons.
Right. Okay. And how long is a typical flight?
7.5 to 8.5 minutes.
Okay, so how many pounds of weight do you lose in sweat in that?
Not too much.
Okay. All right, so you said you're going to the World Championships in Romania?
Right.
Soon. Who's the favorite heading into that?
That would be Ito from Japan and Ennio from, I'm going to mess that up. It's either Sweden or Switzerland. I can't remember which one.
So are there individual and team competitions there?
Yes, they actually combine them. The first 4 rounds are preliminary, and each team adds their scores up in those rounds.
Okay.
And that will determine the team standings.
Okay.
Individual standings, you'll take the average of 3 out of the 4, and that will determine if you go to the finals.
Okay.
And then from the finals, it continues on.
All right. Sounds intense.
Yeah. About the half of the competitors make it to the semifinals, and then I think only 14 make it to the finals.
Oh, okay. So it's
So
cutthroat.
they narrow it down.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well, good luck to you and the rest of Team USA.
Well, thank you. Yeah. USA.
All right. Well, thanks for educating me a little bit about helicopters. I don't know if I could recite much of what you told me, but it's a very interesting, and that is a serious machine.
Yes. Yes. There's no other word for that one.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope you're learning along with me, and stay tuned for another Nats Noob episode coming up.